Yeah, I'm non-binary. Okay, but non-binary AMAB or non-binary AFAB? That's just binary with extra steps, baby!
What do you mean? Girl non-binary or boy non-binary? That makes no sense. I mean, at least you didn't say girl or boy non-binary, you said AMAB or AFAB, which literally isn't better, actually, because in your head, you're like, okay, I don't see you as non-binary, so I need to know if you're a man or a woman. But it's literally not the point. Like, that's really not the point. But I like that it proves our point that you literally can't tell. So thanks for that, at least, I guess. Hello, baby queers, and welcome back to my channel. It is time for some trans TikToks, because we love trans TikToks. But you know the deal. Before we continue, you gotta get hydrated, grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink. Personally, which I will drink at the end of the video because currently it is way too hot, I have my cute little coffee mug again. But yeah, are you hydrated? Good. Let's continue with the TikToks.
Welcome. Voice activation required.
Thor.
Access denied.
Thor, son of Odin.
Access denied.
God of thunder.
Access denied.
Strongest avenger.
Access denied.
Strongest avenger.
Access denied.
Damn you, Stark. Point Break.
Welcome. Point Break.
Yeah, it takes a while. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as it is in this TikTok. So you're just like, wait, am I this identity? And then you get the wrong buzzer. I wish it was that easy, that you're like, wait, what if I'm X? And the buzzer's just like, no, that's not it, kid. That's not it. I think it'd make it easier, but alas, it isn't. So it's okay if you take your time to figure it out. And it's okay if you have to come out again. I know it's annoying to have to come out in general. But listen, you'll get there. You know?
What is your favorite drink?
Water with a lemon slice.
What's your favorite food?
Water with a lime slice.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Water with a cucumber slice.
Favorite dessert?
Carrots.
But isn't it boy with an I versus boy with a Y? Because a boy is like a little kid that's gonna grow into a man. But if you're a boy with an I, it reads differently. It reads differently because A, you're not calling yourself a child, but you're kind of masculining and you're pretty. So you're a pretty boy, both with an I. Like with an I. Don't write it wrong. Come on.
3 things that I could not live without during top surgery recovery. A mastectomy pillow. I would recommend getting one that clips. This comfortably keeps your arms away from your body. It also has a little pocket for your phone or little snacks or anything you want. A backrest pillow. This will give you extra support in bed. It'll also prevent you from rolling around while sleeping. A wedge pillow. This keeps your body elevated while sleeping. I actually used to use this on top of my wedge pillow with pillows stacked in between, and it made sleeping so much more comfortable. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer.
Well, there you go. If you're having surgery soon, or if you're currently in recovery and want to know, or if you're planning to get surgery at some point, here are a few things that might help. Because, to be fair, I didn't have any of these, so it's not like you need them to recover. But let me tell you something, laying down and sleeping was not fun, because I usually sleep on my stomach. So that kind of fell flat for a while. But yeah, making it as comfortable as possible for you is a good idea.
As a reminder, if you're currently wearing a binder, have you been wearing it for like 6 hours now, then you should probably take a break. And a tip for when you have to take a binder break is get shirts with a built-in bra, because then your tatas don't have to hang loose. I
guess. I just like switch to sports bras. Because yeah, but also still uncomfortable because you can feel the sports bra and it just reminds you that something is there. So maybe if you wear a shirt with like a built-in bra kind of thing, maybe it'll feel different and not remind you so much. I don't know. I guess go try it out if you have a lot of dysphoria about that kind of thing.
I'm convinced that every trans-masc person goes through all of these phases. So when you're a kid, you don't even think about your gender. You're just a happy kid living your best life. Then puberty hits. At this point, you start going through changes, and all of a sudden you're super uncomfortable and you have no idea why. By the time high school hits, you start hyper-feminizing yourself, because you know something's wrong, but you're really deep in denial, and at some points you just kind of look like a boy wearing makeup. Then one day you say fuck it and you chop off your hair, and this is where you start entering your ugly trans era. This also might include a lesbian phase. And the ugly trans era is real. You also may or may not start dressing absolutely insane, and you think this is like the peak of your fashion career. It's not. Then out of nowhere, like a year later, you get really hot. Like, you look good, babe. And over the years, you just keep getting hotter. Like, look at that. You also may or may not still dress really crazy, but this time, it actually looks good and you know how to dress.
At least some of these phases, if not all. Yeah. Like, listen, if you're just beginning your transition, you're probably not gonna look the best you've ever looked, or the best you can look. You just gotta get through it. Because maybe you're still figuring out how to dress in a way that feels authentic to you and that you feel comfortable in. Because you may be just like trying out different things. It's maybe not gonna look the best, but it's still very important and you still need to do it. Because once you've gone through that, you know what looks good and what you feel comfortable in. And that's important, you know? But yeah, some of these phases, definitely. The trying so hard to fit in with the gender you were assigned and then realizing it really doesn't feel good either. Yeah, well, what can I say? I think we've all been there. Okay, same with trying to find a style that works for you or hair that works for you. Hormones take a while. I mean, testosterone obviously works pretty quickly still. Like, a lot of things start happening very soon after you start. But the things you do keep changing, and especially if you have a lot of dysphoria, it's gonna maybe take a while longer for you to like really love what you see in the mirror, because you're gonna keep changing and it's gonna get better. And if you're someone who feels like you want to look like very, very stereotypically male, it might take a little bit longer. But honestly, testosterone works pretty amazingly that way, really. Estrogen, a little bit harder actually, but still, you just gotta have patience, and that's coming from me, and I don't have patience, and it was a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm telling you to be patient, but I'm telling you just out of honesty, I wasn't patient either. I was just very impatiently waiting for changes to happen and wanting them to come faster.
One of my favorite things to do is to just gaslight the shit out of cis people. Like, it's so fucking funny. Like, one time I went to this rip and dip river float with one of my friends, and he's trans as well, but I had just gotten top surgery, so my scars were still pretty pink, and they hadn't been tattooed over yet, so they were just like very noticeable, right? And while we're there, we're confronted by this group of cis guys. They're drunk, obviously, like off their ass. And so we're just floating along, chilling, minding our business, and they point to my chest and they're like, what happened, what happened, what happened? And obviously, like, we're in southern Texas. I don't want to just out myself to a bunch of strangers in an enclosed area, you know? So my friend comes up with this brilliant lie, and he's like, oh, he had weight loss surgery. He lost a lot of weight, and he, like, removed the excess skin. And my dumbass was just like, yeah, I had weight loss surgery. Like, I lost a ton of weight. And it blew their fucking minds. They were like, holy shit, like, that's so dope. Like, congrats, man. Like, that's awesome. And they ended up giving me a fucking hoagie sandwich from their cooler and a couple of Smirnoff ices. Like, it's just so fun to just like lie to cis people, like to just gaslight them. They're so gullible.
Honestly, that's fair. I mean, especially if you don't feel safe outing yourself to strangers, because you obviously don't have to tell anyone. Coming up with lies, hilarious. Might work. Because listen, it wasn't really like you did lose a lot of weight, depending on breast size, more or less, right? Like, it's not that much, but it's still, like, I have a trans friend who literally lost 4 kilograms within like the 1.5 or 2 hour surgery. So that's a lot of weight considering, you know? So you're not wrong. And also, it is funny. And literally, for your safety, do whatever you have to, even if it is lie. Who cares? But still, that's funny. If anyone wants to use that excuse, go ahead. Okay, I think I speak for all of us. We love your little sister. We love people that are supportive. Because she's right. You're not their daughter, you're their son. So, fair. I know it's still shitty if your parents don't accept you, but just knowing you have someone there who does know who you are and who loves you for who you are is super important, and we love your sister for doing that for you.
A lot of people ask me, Aiden, what's your favorite thing about being a trans man? Well, let me tell you, being born into the wrong body. I know, it comes with a lot of negatives, but let me tell you a positive I like to focus on, because there's nothing I can do to change it. I was born into a woman's body. I am sexually attracted to women. I want to bounce a wow with women. I don't ever have to look at the ocean in front of me and not know how to swim. Oh, baby, I know how to dive. I know how to backstroke. I know how to backpedal, whatever you want to call it. I know it. Why? Because I was born with the same thing. I was stuck in this body, and you know what? I needed to find ways to please the body that I was stuck in, so I learned. And guess what? Now I know. There are so many cis men out there who don't understand the missing puzzle piece that we have because we have learned from experience. Again, this is only my personal preference. It may not be for everyone. It may be for other people, but this is how I like to look at it. That is my favorite thing about being a trans man. My favorite thing.
I mean, you gotta stay positive, right? Because just focusing on all the shitty things about being trans is just gonna make you feel less. So trying to find things that you like about it and that are helpful in whatever situation is a good idea in general. But yeah, this might be very accurate because a lot of cis men do weird things during sex. Also speaking from experience, if they get older, it gets a little bit better. But still, if you know what works, like obviously what works specifically is going to be different for different people. But still, I think trans men usually have like a better understanding of what might work than a lot of cis guys have. Because it's just fair. Like if you have the same parts, it's gonna be easier for you. So yeah, honestly, pretty fair that is your favorite thing. Just a general reminder to use people's pronouns and their actual names, because guess what? Who gives a shit what their parents named them as a kid? If someone comes up to you and is like, hey, yeah, you know, my passport says this, but I'd really rather be called this nickname that everyone uses for me. People are like, okay, cool, yeah, sure, I'll just call you that. If it's a cis person, not an issue. If someone's like, oh, hey, I changed my last name because I got married, not an issue. So why are y'all starting to act like absolute dickheads who never heard of someone changing their name or asking to be called a different name? If a trans person does it, y'all are just rude dumbasses. Stop it. Use the right name, use the right pronouns, and if you're not sure, just ask. Maybe not in front of everyone necessarily, you know, like maybe if you're not sure, kind of try getting out of using like gendered language, and then like maybe ask them, it's like, hey, I just wanted to check like what name or pronouns would you like me to use, and are there maybe people you're not out in front of that you don't want me to use that? But stop being a dickhead, come on. How can you look at people and decide that you know them better than they know themselves in general? And how can you look at someone like her and be like, well, am I straight as a man if I'm attracted to you? Like, that, is she a woman? Yes. Does it make you gay if you're attracted to her? Well, if you're a girl, it does, sure, but y'all need to, I don't even know. Just think for like a minute and look at this woman and be like, well, she's a woman, I'm a man, so if I'm attracted to her or if I sleep with her, that can't really make me gay, can it? It's not that hard. It really isn't. Oh, honey, like, especially if you're a doctor, like, you don't have to out yourself to anyone, really. But in a medical context, it's better if doctors do know your assigned sex, because it might change your reaction to, like, certain medicines or something. But, honey, I think you're good. Like, I don't think she's pregnant. I get that you probably just ask out of reflex because you have to ask, but still, I think those moments are probably just funny. Yeah, that's the thing. When people think dysphoria, they do think like chest area and genitals. But I mean, it's kind of different for everyone, really. And usually it's not just like one or two places. Unfortunately, it's kind of freaking everywhere. But yeah, the thing where they have dysphoria the most, honestly, I've heard a lot of trans guys say like waist area because it's like thinner than they would like. Or for like a lot of trans women, like their hips or their ass. Honestly, it's kind of different for everyone, but it's kind of everywhere, and I wish it wasn't.
Look, a hoverboard! Look, the apocalypse! Someone got hit in the boing lines! Hit in the boing lines! Boing lines! Boing lines! Somebody got hit in the...
Hey, listen, I used to say that I wish I was born a boy, so if I do something gender non-confirming, it's gonna confuse people more. Because if you're a woman and you wear more like masculine clothes or like baggy clothes, it's usually not that big of a deal to people. But if you're a man and you decide to wear makeup, everyone loses their fucking minds. So that's what I was thinking, that's where I was coming from. So it took a while till I kind of realized what that meant, and that I am non-binary. It took a while, so you're not alone. Don't feel bad. We're all embarrassed together that it took so long. Actually, yeah. Holy shit. I love these kind of transition comparisons. I don't think I will ever get tired of them. Because it's so hilarious. It's so hilarious how much happier people always look afterwards. Because before, I mean, everyone looks kind of awkward as a teenager, but it's just so much worse with trans people somehow. She looks so uncomfortable beforehand. And now she's just like pretty and feeling herself and like living her best life, you know? And I'm here for that. I don't know why she made this video, but I think it's fair. Like, a lot of trans people have this when they mention they're trans. People kind of at some point start to think they're transitioning in the opposite direction. So you have a trans man who's like, oh yeah, I'm trans. And people in their ignorancy are like, okay, looks like a man and says he's trans, so it must be a trans woman who wants to transition to being a woman, because they don't realize how much, especially medical transition, does change you. And it's hilarious to me. I don't know if that's why she made it, or if she just thought it was funny, or because she was like getting comments about, hey, what if you regret it? Like, what if you want to do transition? And she was like, you know what? No, just no.
Shit, fuck balls. Whoa, girl, fuck. Wow. Oh my god. Holy shit, wow, fucking balls.
Okay, you can't really expect anything that was just like freshly operated on to look good. Because I'm sorry, it's really not gonna look at first. I don't know how long it takes, but it's not gonna look good at first. I'm sorry about it. Like, even like from top surgery, it was still like very swollen a lot, and it wasn't bruised for me actually, really, but like especially around the scars, it was like really swollen and it just looked really weird and just really not great. So even for something like that, it takes a while. But apparently with bottom surgery, it's worse. So yeah, good luck, and I wish y'all, if you're having surgery or if you just had it or if you're gonna have it soon, a very speedy and painless, or at least with as little pain as possible, like recovery, you know? Okay, I'm not even lying when I say the song used to make me cry so much when I was like starting to realize I'm trans, and I was like, oh, fuck me. And I get it that people try to relate songs to their experiences in general, but maybe don't steal like one of the only good songs we have about being trans that are just like this relatable. Just maybe don't. Okay, great. I'm gonna just screenshot this right here. What's down there? Great. Apparently we're still asking people about their genitals as random people, like it's any of your business. All right. Do you still feel sensation? Are you trying to sleep with her? Like, if you want to sleep with her and she wants to sleep with you, maybe it's a conversation worth having, like what's down there, what you can expect. If it even does anything, that's fine. But apart from that situation, just don't. Stop being creepy. What's your boy name? Great. Amazing. We've been over this. Don't ask people their dead names. Just don't. What's your man voice? Wow. I mean, personally, I think it's hilarious because trans women can still drop their voice to like very low, and I think it's hilarious when they use it to like scare men. It's hilarious to me, but still, don't ask. Where's your Adam's apple? Gone. It ran away. How many surgeries have you had? How many surgeries have you had? Like, what do you care? And do you still orgasm? Again, if you're trying to have sex with this person, it might be a relevant question. But apart from that, maybe just don't.
My name is Wyatt, and this is my voice 1 month on T.
My name's Wyatt, and this is my voice 10 weeks on T. My name's Wyatt, and this is my voice 12 weeks on T.
My name's Wyatt, and this is my voice 4 months on T. My name's Wyatt, and this is my voice 5 months on T. My name's Wyatt, and this is my voice 7 months on T. My name's Wyatt, and this is my voice 8 months on T.
Okay, you know me. I had to include a voice update. Because again, I used to be obsessed, and I do still think it's so hilarious how much testosterone changes it. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, in the beginning you hear it yourself. Like, you keep being caught off guard when you open your mouth because you're kind of used to the way your voice used to sound. And then I think like after 2 months or 2 years or something, my voice stopped dropping. I don't know, but until then it kept kind of like gradually getting lower, but it was still so much lower than I was used to. So I kept opening my mouth and I was like, wait, what? I know I sound different now, but is that what I sound like? Now I'm used to it. And also after like top surgery, especially because I had like other organs removed as well, my voice dropped again. And then it caught me off guard again because I was like, wait, it sounds different, but it's hilarious to me.
Treat a car like you treat a woman.
Go on.
No.
Again, people like to look at this man and be like, wait, you say you're trans, so you must be transitioning to a woman, right? And he's just like, bro, no. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? I don't want to do that. Why are people like this? Okay, I also had to include this one because A, she's really good with makeup and I love to see it, and secondly, I love just how awkward, like, she didn't even include like teenage pictures, but she included adult pictures that still like very clearly show how uncomfortable and how unhappy she was before. And it's not hilarious, of course, that people are unhappy before they transition, but the absolute contrast is just funny to me, and I love just seeing trans people, happy and living their best life. That's why I love these videos.
Hey, thank you for your question. So if you didn't know, I am transgender, which means I was born a boy and lived the first 18 years of my life looking like a boy. And now that I've transitioned, I get asked quite a lot, what did I used to look like? And some trans girls are a bit funny about that, but I'm open about it. That was me. So yeah, if you want to see, carry on looking. If you don't want to see, look away now. You want to see, I know you want to see. So this was me 9 years ago. Dun, dun, dun. Smash.
Honestly, this one I just included because I think she's funny. And honestly, yeah, I mean, I kind of get the curiosity. I do. And if you ask in a respectful way, like, I've literally, people ask me to, and I'm pretty open about it too. Like, I show them pictures because honestly, I think I was really pretty before. Like, I looked super uncomfortable, but I was still pretty. And like, if we're friends, and listen, I'm really only speaking for me. I keep saying don't ask people their dead names because just don't. Personally, I don't really care anymore. Like, if we're friends and you ask, is like, hey, if you're okay with telling me, I'm kind of curious what it is. That's fine. But if you just kind of demand to know, especially if you're not close with someone, it's just weird. But just don't do it in general. Just don't, because you never know if someone is actually comfortable with it, you know? But again, the absolute contrast is still funny to me.
I actually have a question for you. If I'm a man, would you feel comfortable being in the same locker room as me? Showering and everything? I've had all of the surgeries. Every single surgery. What you see is what you get. Girlies, would you feel comfortable having me showering next to your man in the locker room? Would you? Because if I'm a man, that wouldn't be an issue, right? Right? I thought so.
Again, why are people so weird about it? Like, if you go into a locker room as a man and you see her there, you're definitely going to think she's in the wrong locker room, or that you accidentally went into the wrong one. Why is it so hard for people to not be dickheads? Because you can tell that this comment wasn't even meant to be because they're confused or something. No, they were just trying to be rude and failed very, very miserably because she was just like, so I'm a man, huh? Okay, well, guess I must steal your boyfriend then or something. I don't know. But listen, stop being disrespectful. Stop being rude to other people for the sake of being rude. Literally, like, sometimes people deserve that you're rude to them. But she don't do nothing. She was just like making her fun little TikToks. If you don't want to see them, scroll past. Click not interested in this kind of thing. But you decided to be a dickhead. Wow. Great use of your time, really. Yeah, amazing. So anyways, that was all the TikToks for today. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I do, because again, I love queer TikTok in general, but trans TikTok, maybe I'm biased. I think I'm biased, probably, but I love trans TikTok. But yeah, I hope you had fun. I hope you're hydrated. If not, go finish your drink now, and I'll be back in 3 days with my next video.